Hello and welcome back to the left side of reality. This is your host as always, Snow the First. Last time, we finally managed to get past Vina, the last of the main core suppressions, and even did day 45. Unfortunately, our only reward for day 45 is day 46. We have a whole new department. So, I guess my first question of the day is Galena okay by herself, or should I send someone else down there to join her? She got moved from her usual place as Central Command. I think we'll be okay leaving that a smidge understaffed. Now, everyone might notice that my interface looks a little different than usual. Although I didn't quite accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. You know what? If Galena's gonna be by herself, then I should probably give her better armor. Maybe love and hate. Or do I have any sword sharpened by tears? I do. Take one. Having evolve is going to serve you much better in that department. Okay, like I was saying, you may have noticed that my interface is a little different today. Architecture is going to begin a little thing I decided I wanted to do. And that is to see if people would be interested in bribing me to play Library of Ruina immediately after Lobotomy Corporation. The interface is supposed to say that the goal is $200, but I think I accidentally have it set to followers instead of donations. Alright, our first new abnormality is this heat that is very clearly a riff on Christmas. And our second is evolve that I think they both run on insight, Galena. So Galena, if you will. Also, I have taken off the today's Ordeal mod, because from today onwards it's basically going to be useless. Yeah, go ahead and do that. Every Ordeal from here on is going to be white. The interface does nothing for us. The today's Ordeal mod has served its purpose. I was gonna say, I believe you had said that dimensional refraction variant was actually a good all-rounder. Galena's a bit low in fortitude then. Let's have her train on that over the course of the day. Let's see how good this first course is. Okay, white damage. That's why I took her out of the armor. I don't actually know how long how much Felina's thing is, and I can't check it right now. Okay, that's probably best left to a once per cycle. Do I have enough for the name? I do not. Or I could send someone better down here to do at least one more work. You know what? I'll do that. I'll have Gabriella come down here and do a work. Or someone else that could probably use a little boost in something. Just so we can unlock the name before we take a break from this abnormality. Okay, but like I was saying, the idea is that for however long the rest of this Lobotomy Corporation run goes, I will leave that running tally of how much money is donated towards the goal of playing Ruin. No one is obligated to donate, but it's just me being curious if people want to see me play Ruin immediately. There's no real reason behind $200 either. It's just, again, just me putting a goal to see if people would work towards it. If the goal isn't reached, and I would understand if it's not, then I will take a short break from Project Moon related stuff, probably finish up RZ at long last, and maybe do one other game, and then after that I would hop over to Ruin. Look at this frickin' profile picture. It is something. It's a face only a mother can love. It actually reminds me a bit of Disc Only Podcast, if you remember that. When it came around Christmas time, a running gag that Claire loved to do during Disc Only was a kind of a parody of the Christmas of a Christmas song, the Santa Claus is Coming to Town, where instead of actually doing this song, Claire would just repeat "You better watch out" over and over. To emphasize the idea that Santa's gonna come and get you. God, this going is silly. You know what? There's genuinely no reason why I can't just grind on Rudolta. Look at that. We already got almost everything except escape information. White weapon clubs or whatever. 0.6 light strike resistance would be okay if we weren't this far in the game. As it is, this guy sadly got outpaced and was really only picked because he'd be safe. Back to it. This is literally just gonna be the day until the first ordeal shows up. As for what you're saying just now, I'm probably going to wipe out extraction as soon as before the first meltdown cycle happens. So after I finish having Galena grind here. I mean, I guess on one hand, that's technically positive because it means that it makes the clerk population easier to control. Anyways, just wanted to do some quick calculations about what we can do about armor extraction. Or do we even care about getting armor from a geek at this point? Now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, to help preserve bullets. Maybe, but diffraction is diffraction's gonna be much harder to grind off of as a VOD. So just gotta deal with the regular prices for him. Yep, we're gonna wait for them to... Okay, that's extraction. Wiped out. I was really only going to stop at wiping out extraction for the reasons you mentioned. However, the price has changed now that I've done that, actually. By 4 boxes, this is now 40. So now I can deduce that this is 120, and that's around the same ballpark, actually. Although again, you probably don't have much of a reason to care about equipment. I guess at this point I just do whatever as far as work goes. Oh Jesus, you super need a patch up on your attachment. I'm gonna have you do that. These guys aren't here to work with abnormalities as such. They're here to slay the Mountain of Smiling Bodies as soon as it gets out. What I'm probably gonna do is have Galena do a bunch of work on Rudolta just to kind of push things along every cycle. and then everyone else just kind of everyone else do whatever work I can think to assign, because we're honestly just spinning our wheels right now until we get our first ordeal of light. So, this year, as far as streaming goes, I want to start kind of bringing in more games. I wanted to bring back Persona 5, but unfortunately the mods are still very temperamental on that one. And our Zet needs to be finished, although hopefully that's a short enough game where it's not going to be that much of a problem. But beyond that, okay, I understand what I'm doing here. Yeah, some temperaments training for you to be nice. Beyond that, some new games I want to do in this new year is Nina the Hollower from the same guys as Shovel Knight. I backed that particular Kickstarter a long time ago, and I want to see the end results of that. Little Goody Two Shoes I've had on the docket for a while now. And, what else? Tyrone Cuthbert, Attorney of the Arcane, is one I've been looking at for a while now. To go back to mystery games, because I did miss that. And any other games I can think of, I'll do along the way. Since Capcom currently seems to have forgotten that Ace Attorney exists, the market for try and guess what? I don't know. Hungry Horrors? I got a bit freaked for a moment because I forgot to give Dia that weapon. I'm thinking of another game, but the name escapes me for a second. My Friendly Neighborhood? Oh my god, that would not have been my guess. My other guess was gonna be that one about the searching for lost music discs. Would have been my other guess. Cardboard Bonbon, yeah. So yeah, I do have plans for my New Year's. But part of those plans involves making out of this game before too much time passes. Although we aren't passing this particular day today. This is more of a practice run to see if we can even get past any ordeals of life before we even begin to worry about the claw. Oh my god, I think the meltdown got eaten. Because I don't see anything in this. Oh, hi. Hi! Didn't know everything was open to melting down again. Oh dear. It's... And that's gonna remain the case for the rest of the game. Well, I got to enjoy there being 0 meltdowns for all of one day. Okay, we officially have a Clypod counter. It supremely bums me out that we never did get a White Knight, but can't really do anything about that. Meanwhile, you just kind of... How many works did I do with Udolta before I finally stopped? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 works of Udolta. But yeah, the upshot of what I'm saying is that I have ambitions, and I'm hoping to do at least some of them this year. Before I swap over to the next thing on my mind, this is the big gimmick of this abnormality, which we hopefully won't have to deal with overly much. You have to manually target this whenever it escapes. And to do that, first you have to find it. There's not escape information around here. Anyone who's been playing Limbus recently will see that these pair of goggles are very familiar. Anyways, speaking of Limbus, shall we get back to talking about that? It's always kind of messy to talk about more subjective topics because everyone has their own personal opinion and everyone has their right to their personal opinion. So it's kind of like what I think about the story is no less correct or incorrect than anyone else. But it's just kind of like, all I can say is, this is what bugs me personally. Galena has horns now, because why not? HP -4, but SP +8. That's an okay trade-off. Okay. But okay, back to my thought. So, to break out of the desperate situation of everyone being trapped by the ring nurse father, Sinclair activates the power of his sign. And what the power of his sign does is call in a version of himself from the future in order to fix the situation. And I am very mixed about this. And the reason I'm mixed about it is because a certain Sinclair isn't just powerful, but he's basically just like the biggest, coolest hero of whatever time frame he comes from. Like, it's not just that a certain Sinclair is awesome, it's that he's the most awesomest specialist person to ever show up. And he's just kind of like, That's why I'm mixed more than anything. Because it's not like this Sinclair isn't powerful without good reason, and it's clear he's gone through a lot. Plus the lore bits are intriguing enough that I did want to learn more. But anyway, a certain Sinclair just kind of seems like has just about everything. He has shit. He's a color fixer. He has a brand new type of coin that we've never seen before. This Sinclair is like absurd levels of overpowered. Yeah, we don't need to find out what the green coin does until later. Yeah. Gonna get armor for all the good it does. Before I do anything else, it might do me good to start dividing everyone up into groups. Because I created special little groups of everyone for what's going to happen next. Well, first I need to take out some clerks, because it's that time. Oof, what is up with my stomach today? That's only 2 clerks, so we need a third. Gonna snipe one from home. Oh yeah, he has a bird, because why not? Is the bird ever explained? It's not. But I guess it's just not important right now. But yeah, excision coins. to explain ahead of time what they do here, they not only break unbreakable coins, but they actually gain more power against unbreakable coins, which actually becomes rather important for later. Is that me getting my mechanics mixed up on the Roach King then? Yeah, that might just be me getting mixed up. But yeah, and this next part is definitely where it falls into entirely subjective, potentially irrational, because a certain Sinclair has multiple weapons that seem to be from previous sinners, and one of them, the one that's easiest to recognize, is Roja's axe. And it's kind of like, I really like Roja, so the idea that she dies in this future, it just kind of sours me. Which I fully admit is rather irrational, because it's not like Sinclair asked for this to happen, or wanted it. He probably would have rather it didn't. I mean, it's a nice thought, but a big thing about this version of Sinclair is that it's very clear that he hasn't seen quite a few of his old sinner friends in a long time, for what's implied to be unhappy reasons. One group, they all have black weapons. And it's kind of like, I always try to be impartial about what I say, or at the very least acknowledge when I'm being decidedly not rational. So it's like, yes, I know this isn't rational. Sinclair didn't ask for any of this, he probably didn't want it either. But at the same time, I can't help but be bitter at the fact that, why are you the one that keeps getting pushed as like the specialist little boy of all time and leaving other sinners in the dust in the process? That's my big issue. But with all of that being said, I am continuing to reserve judgment. If any recent story content had actually begun to shift my opinion of Sinclair, it was actually Spring Cultivation, because Sinclair actually got to spend one-on-one time with the sinners and have unique interactions with them that we didn't see at other points in the story. And it's just kind of like, okay, yes, if we had more of this more often, then I would like to see more of Sinclair. So as long as they begin to better build up his presence and whatever role he has in the future, I think I'm gonna be okay with him. I'm just very mixed on him right now, because he just kind of only is relevant when it comes to his special song. True. So yeah, that's just the short version of my thoughts. Basically, here are my problems with Sinclair. Here's what I like about Sinclair, and what I want to see more of in the future. And that's more or less about as fair an assessment as I can make it. I have a feeling right around now you might be beginning to understand just what it is I'm doing here. Up, you are the first of the new group. Or the last group, that is to say. What group are you in? If you're white damage, then I guess that group. Heal damage. Okay, if you're in white resistance armor, then you're part of that group. Normally I wouldn't send everyone so far from their usual groups, but this is a special occasion. We need to see something. The only move that's not getting moved is Extraction, for the reason that Extraction is needed more urgently in that particular area than they are as part of our squad here. I guess in the interest of being fair, fairness, are you curious about what's probably my pettiest, most irrational complaint I've had with Sinclair? That it's like, I know this is stupid, but it's what I feel anyways. What group are you? Hail damage, or hail resistance armor, so the final group. Or wait, have I gotten people mixed up? Is everyone where they're supposed to be? Hail or white resistance? Well, the problem is that we don't have a lot of weapons. Should I send Gabriella to the white fixer group or the pale fixer group? I'm having a bit of trouble figuring it out. I know she deals all damage types. I'm just wondering where she'd be better served. Or maybe I'll just keep her down here as a kind of base. Send her to wherever she's needed the most. Okay, but what I was saying. Okay, you're not moving, and you're not moving because you're the only person down here. In fact, I think I might leave records exactly where they are too, just in case sensor runs down. Yeah, I think this is just gonna have to be good enough. Don't want to completely empty out the bottom rows, just in case. All that prep work, and I don't even remember what the last thing I was doing was. Okay, just did Snow White's apple. I'm actually gonna boost us up to double speed to make this go faster while I'm talking. So anyways, near the beginning of part 2, at least I think it was the beginning, near the beginning of part 2 for Don Quixote's castle, they went towards the priest's area, which was a haunted house, and it is the source of like one of the funnier Don Quixote moments where she talks about lasers and even imitates the noise of lasers with her mouth. Whatever they're paying the voice actor for Don Quixote, it is not enough. But then I guess you could say the same thing for everyone involved in Nimbus. Anyways, I keep pausing because I keep having to scroll up to see what was the last thing I did. But anyways, when they enter the house itself, they have one of the blood fiends working there jump out to spook everyone, and Don Quixote actually becomes scared enough to jump right into Sinclair's arms. Except for the part where that actually annoyed me. It's like, no, I don't think Don Quixote would ever be scared like that. And especially not to just then go into such a cliche situation. This was just shipping fodder just for the sake of shipping fodder. And I know it's stupid, but that did annoy me. I think with that one, I'm keeping an eye on it because it's barely started, and it was a bit more subtle. I don't remember it actually being brought up much since then, which actually makes sense because we have more important things to worry about right now. I actually came up with a perfect metaphor to sum up my thoughts, and I will get to it because how people handle romance can vary wildly, and did I miss a work at some point? Okay. Give me a second. Sorry about that brief interruption. Had some personal business. Had to do real quick. And like I was saying, did I miss a work somewhere? One. Only 4 on Ludota. I didn't do Judgment Bird is what I did. I suppose I could replace it with something else. It's not gonna get happiness. Just throw someone from safety to someone here. Okay, back to what I was saying. Balancing romance and plot can be rather tricky unless the romance is the plot, and even then. And I feel like the show that has summed that up the best is okay, first off, who showed up and where? Noon right after? What? Oh, it is. It is red. Black damage. Okay, I might have Gabriella just kind of keep him busy then while I get the right crew down here. And who was my red armor crew? All the way up here? Really? The death lasers point straight up, right? In which case, I think it might be good to move, or... Oh, hi, you're going downstairs. Oh wait, you went upstairs. Gabriella might actually be able to solo this guy. What area would that cover? In which case, what I think I'm gonna do is have Gabriella retreat south, have these people deathball, and once the red fixer dies, have them follow where Gabriella went. Or just deathball now and have everyone retreat as soon as the red fixer runs out of health. Ow-wee! That hurt a lot. Nothing on Mountain. Nothing on Burr either. So I would basically move them down here, or at least directly behind him. That is my main question. Wow! What was the thing I said earlier that I was gonna do but didn't? Okay. Mountain is still fine, and Big Bird dropped one. So that was 5, roughly. I would say that was actually quite a lot of valuable information. It tells us that the red fixer isn't too much of an issue. We could just nuke them immediately. Okay, where's my black group? Oh my god, Mary got left out. Okay, here's the black squad. Where would they be put, then, to be able to react in time to wherever he is? Here, then, since it's the most central. Go over here, since I don't want them breaking out censored if it comes down to it. Edit this. Okay, you're the white damage crew. You come here. Unfortunately, the black damage group will not be of much use. My little bundle of hail people will take a disciplinary. And if they run into this group as well, they can join in, since it's all red damage. What's the main damage type from this group here? White? White, red, white, black. Okay, if Black Fixer comes in Rocky, Noah's the only one that can't interact with them. Although speaking of Big Bird, I should probably have someone catch up that drop. You know, I spent so much time airing personal grievances that we haven't even talked much about the battle itself. And it's very rare that I spend an extended amount of time airing personal grievances. So, the thing about every battle up until um, the index and pinky segments is that there is one fighter on your team that is obviously supposed to do all the heavy lifting, but that team member is also the one that you can't directly control. In this case, a certain Sinclair makes absolute mincemeat out of the ring people. He usually keeps the ring nurse father occupied, so your other two sinners are focused on Fascia or Albino. Oh, it's only the hammer. There's no armor. That kind of fight. As much as I always like getting a new weapon, armor would have been nice too. A flat 200 for that. Anyway, time to do your 4 works of the Dota while we can copy. So what are the death throws for white and black Fixer? Just so I know. So that could get messy depending on which apartment they spawn in. Well, I guess it's nice that Red Fixer basically just got immediately used. And then there's Pale Fixer, but that's like a whole different kind of range. So, lore-wise, the one thing that should not be forgotten, more than anything, is the fact that there's apparently a second smoke war that's coming up. And it's between humans and humans with prosthetics. Or... Are you supposed to have one type on? You are not. What? Oh, it's because it lowers... Well, Galena alone should be able to handle the goal, but even if she can't, I can just summon Gabriella. So it shouldn't be too big a deal. And see, the thing about this reveal is that it actually ties into something we learn at the end of the canto, which is not great because it's kind of like, oh, the Encore people are talking about a conflict that sounds very much like what the future Sinclair is dealing with. I'm actually gonna get everything from the gold for whatever much that means with armor at that level. I'm gonna double speed it again, just long enough to finish this. But yeah, the thing is, a certain Sinclair has a move called Abate the Smoke that will always 100% destroy the states that Callisto has. So that's basically just a non-issue for the rest of the encounter. And Sinclair will use his incision coins to deal with any unbreakable coins that Callisto and Albina has. So, of all the battles coming up, this one is basically just a guaranteed win. On the other hand, you notice that you would also notice that that your sinners seem like they straight up cannot die in this battle. After you reach a certain threshold with once you reach a certain threshold with Albina, Sinclair destroys the sword Fascia, and Albina's like, what did you do that for? I wanted to be your friend. But Sinclair's not hearing any of it and just kind of reduces Albina to scrap. Well, was it not? But yeah. And then, of course, because he's a member of the Ring, Callisto's not even all that distressed by what was I even doing? Ah, poor Mary got left up there by herself. She didn't join the rest of her friends in time. Since you're up here anyways, go say hi to the bird to kick off our next realm of madness. The kind of bad thing about the monetization mod is that it despawns anything to save on memory, which means I can't see the fixers unless I zoom in a bit. Oh, so she is. And black is right here. Okay, cool. You guys hide over here while our kill crew here gets a killing. As for white, what am I gonna do about you? You're my kill crew. I can't send Gabriella because she would get nuked. Maybe send these guys? Or let's see if my little anti-white crew will get there in time. It is on the other side of the facility, but White Fixer I think moves rather slow. I think it may be too late for records, but it's not too late for these guys. We'll just kill them now. Just to stop White Fixer from getting any more kills in. Getting any kills in. Was that all of them? I think it might have been all of them. Nope, I think that's one more. Or you might also be records, but either way you have to die. Okay, you guys hang out here for now. Noah, censored. Flesh Idol can go to London. Letitia, it doesn't matter. Oh. The real question is what I'm gonna do about you. You're just kind of ambly floating. And Z. Okay, get over here. Oh, she got upstairs. Okay, good. London was spared. Everyone else can be fine, so I can focus on White Fixer to see when she gets into her counter stance, because that'll be the time to retreat. Also, Pesca. Oh, jeez. Jeez. Tiffany, what's your 0.6? But oof, maybe some white bullets. Oh, is it now? Back. Elevator. Okay, back. Although an HP bullet just to kind of cut you off. Hail weapons are not to be messed with. This is going too slow. Well, it's not like we're not making progress. White bullets. She's about to fire her laser. Oh, I think she's getting ready for her counter. So, jump over here. Oof. One more round like that and she's done. Is the good news. That counter alone is the main thing that makes this fixer just the worst. Okay, immediately attacking her until she gets to the zone. Is that the laser or is that the counter? It's hard to tell. There's none in healing. The ones that would be in danger would be information, maybe. Should I wipe out information? And then I guess while I'm at it... Everyone here could take the hit, I think. Yeah, I think they'll be fine. talk to train with you guys. So should I wipe out information first? I think we are gonna kill it before that happens. Okay, get away from the wacky gas. Also, it did kill... A big bird broke out, but he got immediately nuked. Or... I think the bigger issue right now is that we're almost out of clerks for every department. We wouldn't be able to make it to a midnight. So, the good news is that it seems like our agents can handle 3 out of the 4 fixers without much of a big deal. We don't know about Pale yet, but it looks like there's some in... I don't know how many here, but there is some. And the only other one that's left is disciplinary. So, what we have learned here is that the agents don't seem to be in any real danger from these enemies. They seem like they can handle them just fine. It's the lack of clerks that's the issue. Unfortunately, there's not really a lot we can do about that for sure. Wherever the white fixer spawns is where she spawns, and we're gonna deal with it. The other thing we found out is that the extraction crew is so good at killing Mountain that I didn't even notice that Mountain had broken out. But that's the entire point of this day, isn't it? To pick up as many useful facts as we can before we make an honest attempt at the flaw. Are we trying to hang on to as many clerks as we can? Yeah, that. The problem there is then not having anything for midnight. But we're not even reaching midnight tonight. We're going as far as dusk and that's it. If I was gonna face the claw, I would have began this stream earlier, but I mainly wanted to see the 4 fixers today. And I won't lie, I'm actually rather heartened by what I see. Even though there have been hiccups, it seems like it has been demonstrated so far that the fixtures themselves aren't the biggest deal. Okay, I've now got Big Bird back up to 3, which means he's not going to be a problem for the rest of the stream. I guess that's one positive. Neither the Mountain or the Big Bird can possibly get upset enough again to break out, because there just aren't enough perks for it. Do all 4 fixers respawn when dusk hits? You know, I'd actually forgotten that little detail. Okay, this is my white fixer tree. Black damage is still here. Also, Gabriella has goggles now. Is this any crew, or is this, oh, this is the field crew. Parker probably shouldn't be there, but he's there because he's long range. Same as Bella. Really, I think it's the red damage crew that got all mixed up. Or I think this is all of them and all the... No, I think this is the red damage crew. And the usual records people is that the usual records people are currently in this room because they need it to be. Okay. I think everyone is scattered roughly evenly. I think everyone's spread roughly even enough to be able to intercept them whenever, but I'm still gonna put them in elevators. Black damage crew, you're now over here. You guys stay where you are. And you guys stay where you are. Or I think rather go over here. That'll probably be the final touch of this evening then, to see if I can get past the dusk without any major issues. Oof, everything that happened has just completely thrown me off. But I just gotta keep going. Where the heck had we even been in the conversation? Yeah, Callisto's just gonna like, oh, the way you've completely destroyed my apprentice should make for good art. And it's like, it's a very good demonstration of why the ring sucks. Of course, the tables don't take long to get turned when, when you get through the rest of Callisto's HP. anyways, once you get through Callisto's HP bar, well, I suppose he didn't, he didn't beg for his life that I can remember. It's like, before you kill me, can you at least tell me what you thought about my art? And Sinclair's like, your art's crap. Anyways, future Sinclair is happy to see the sinners again, because as I talked about before, it's implied that he hasn't seen them for a very long time, and not for happy reasons either. And it launches the whole discussion about going back to the past from the future, because naturally Ishmael and Frost ask, so are we just boned? Is the future you saw going to happen? Or is the future that you're from going to happen? And Sinclair's like, can't be too sure, it might be hard, but I think it's possible that you'll be able to avoid the future. I guess in the end, that's why it might be a bit unfair to hold this whole thing against Sinclair, or the future Sinclair, because if he had a choice in the matter, he probably would be content to just not exist and be in a better future. And the other thing that deserves some note is that the finishing move that certain Sinclair used against Callisto was the finishing move that was learned from the Night Drifter back in Spring Cultivation. Words. Where are my words today? We weren't gonna do it this cycle. Although, yeah, good. Now that I think about it, yeah, good reminder. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, punishing bird's out. Ran into this group over here. I'm gonna wait for punishing bird to be done. As a final clarifying note, Future Sinclair says that not every sign can do what Sinclair's sign does. That's just his own version of it. And if his sign were to activate again, then it wouldn't even pull that particular Sinclair. A certain Sinclair is just what was called up for that specific moment. I guess it depends on what they're going to do with Sinclair in this particular scene thing. So, what we know about it so far. Of all things, it had to be the teddy bear. Start with Pansy, because that's at the top of the list. And then I'm just gonna remember in case for the next time. In order to avoid repeats for Happy Teddy Bear, I just start from the bottom and go down. Okay, so we need to do the meltdown trick for Queenie here, so... I might just set it at permanent ×2 speed, just to move this day along. Any further plot talk I'm good to save for tomorrow? So while we wind down to the end of this stream, let's talk IDs. You know, I had something very specific about that. Did you want to hear? So basically, it's officially been confirmed that for whatever reason, Encore absolutely loathes prosthetic people. Like, Cromer and her group weren't just like a faction that went too far. Everyone in Encore, from the top to the bottom, they hate prosthetics. They want to kill them all. And the big plan that Encore has, that Herman is cooking up, is that she wants to start a hunt for prosthetic people that she says will make the machine purge look like a small fry affair. Yes, and they also want to kill all mirror worlds. But I'm getting to that actually. And as part of their moving plans, apparently a group is being formed called hang on, let me look this up. Malice Maleficarum. That's implied to be separate from the League of Nine that we already know. And this group is going to be what's in charge of doing this second machine purge. But I have a question. Do you know the other significance of the title of that group name? Directly translated, Malice Maleficarum is a real book that existed and was written by the real Heinrich Kroger. Directly translated, the name means witch's hammer, and that's because the entire point of the book was to stir up hatred against witches in order to basically do the Salem witch trials, kill women in accusation of witches. And here's the thing, the name of the meeting that Foss and her crew do is called Walpurgisnacht. And Take 3 guesses what Walpurgisnacht is directly related to. Yep. So if Encore is making a group that's name borrows from witch hunting, and the Gesellschaft directly borrows from witches, yeah, 1 plus 1 ain't making a very pretty formula here. The next topic was about future ID speculation, especially the seasonal ones. Now the first 2 weren't the most exciting, because the first 2 were Fosk as a generic index person, and Otis as a generic Ujat agent. Even if the Ujat agent did have important story implications. So people were wondering if we were gonna get a repeat of the A show, where every seasonal ID was just gonna be some generic unit. And I guess Kim Ji-hoon got a lot of backlash for that, because every seasonal ID since has very much been not that. The first big change is Don Quixote getting an ID directly based off of Sora, the Index Apprentice. And next, we have Otis as No, not Otis. We have Ishmael as the Middle Apprentice. So it looks like we're getting bare minimum apprentice IDs. But that's not all. In the mirror world that these come from, Rhine is not the Index nurse father. It's now Yusane. So that implies that nurse father IDs might exist, and we already know one of them. Have you gotten a chance to see the Ishmael uptie story yet? Hang on. I really didn't want to get out of my chair again, but I desperately need to use the restroom. Second break. And we're back. Okay, these next few works I'm gonna need to be very careful about. But back to the question I just asked. Are you curious to know, if you haven't seen the Ishmael Updike story, are you curious to know who the middle nurse father is? Well, not like I did a good job hiding it anyways. It's Otis. And you know, there was always gonna be a level of strangeness when it came to the nurse father for Otis, because I'm still all mixed up. There was always going to be a bit of weirdness when it came to the middle of the two middle IDs, because of the nurse fathers. Matthias and Kira directly call each other dad and daughter, so they may actually be related by blood. We don't know. Maybe that's clarified in the uptight story for Ishmael, but I haven't actually seen it myself. I know I need to do the meltdown trick now. I'm just trying to figure out how to do it. Like, where are people relative to each other? Where's Gabriella? I'm actually gonna summon Gabriella first. Where is she? What the hell? I'm actually not entirely sure. Oh, right, because... And then up here to spread out. Yep, there she is. Move down here. You're going to hit Judgment Bird as soon as we get what we want. Tatiana. Okay, cool. I'm gonna have Tatiana work on the here. What's the threshold we're aiming for? 16. Training, Tatiana. And as soon as we hit 16, I need to press the button. You know what? Fair enough. The entire point of the bribery option is to get a barometer of what the viewers want. now. Still no dusk. But that worked out. We have been on Project Moon for a very, very long time. Come on, Dusk. I need you to pop up already. I don't want to see. Okay, Gabriella can stay there so we can do this trick again. Now that we know it works. A spam bot actually tried to enter, but Autobot got it. Anyways, I suppose it could be considered an interesting look at what makes people comfortable or uncomfortable. Because even though Project Moon has covered all kinds of stories in the Reptile stories, something about Otis and Ishmael calling each other mother and daughter just kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies, and I don't know why. That one was also very strange. Although I think with that one, it became such a meme overnight that no one really ever took it seriously. Too short from another hammer, really? Every so often I passed along stories from a particular account on AOP that does all kinds of little Limbus Company AUs. And I find it funny that there's a running gag across the stories where wherever Honglu and Ishmael are relevant, or to be specific, Lord Honglu and Yishin Ishmael, it is in fact brought up that Ishmael is an aberration of nature that probably should not have been brought into this world, but she's here anyways. To this day, one of my favorite jokes from those set of stories is from the Don Quixote one, where Yi Sang, who is absent for the majority of the story, comes up to ask Dante, is there anything we can do about this situation? And Dante's like, right now, as far as I can see, no. And then Yi Sang's all like, this is most unideal, before then going, okay, I said the thing, I believe. Is Rudolpha gonna break out? I want me to see that before anything else happens. He he is. Cool. Okay, Galena, can you handle this on your own? Look how slow this thing goes. Look at the look on her face. Galena is doing damage, it's just supremely slow. You know what? This is... Okay, it's going by faster. Can Galena take out Rudolpha before it crosses the other side of the room? Let's find out. Okay, but my other favorite joke from that same story is that at one point, Gregor says something like, with this bug arm, I'd be lucky to date anyone. And then Honglu responds to hearing that with, you know, I hate kind of having emotions now, because hearing that made me feel very sad. And then Merceau just says, skill issue. Your arguments are invalid, I could turn into a dragon is also a very good one. Yeah, that story's my favorite, in case you couldn't tell. So if I were to bring up a different story that's not the Don Quixote one, there's the other one where it started. The inspiration for this story was the release of the Lei Peng Merceau ID, and so the story starts up with Dante overlaying it over Merceau. And at the time, we didn't know anything about Lei Peng except that Ryoshu hated his guts. So the story is Merceau talking about how it's probably going to be a bad idea to use the ID because Ryoshu is just going to get furious on the spot. Yeah, all the Kanto IDs have gone wrong. And a running gag over the course of that story is Honglu having the time of his life, poking fun at all the sinners that are uncomfortable because of one ID or another, right up until it gets to the most recent season, where Zishun Ishmael happens, and then Honglu's on the other side of it, where everyone's poking fun at the fact that Zishun Ishmael turned into Zishun, and then Honglu's like, yeah, oh, wow, this actually really sucks. And then, hang on. And then shortly after that, Wei Yi's song shows up, but in like what he looks like in the Zishun art where he has glasses on, and Heathcliff has a very good laugh about it at the sight of Yi's song in glasses, and then Faust is like, maybe stop laughing, because karma's gonna stuff you in a female ID again, and it's going to be about you. And this actually triggers an argument about whether Heathcliff gets Bauchi or Dayu. Turns out the answer is neither. Go figure. Water went down the wrong pipe there. That's why you don't talk and drink, folks. Hey, punishing bird. Okay, I seem to be recovering now that the brief crisis passed. I'm gonna drink some water to ironically clear the problem that was caused by water. That's a weirdly specific request. Why? So when you said central command, did you actually mean extraction? Oh. Okay, Tatiana, where are you? I'm gonna have you walk across so you get all the dead bodies along the way. Nope. Hey, you didn't get this one. There we are. I didn't want you to follow through. Okay, back to what I was saying. If I had to pick an alternate favorite joke from that story, it would probably be the Don Quixote section. Jeez, noticing a pattern here. But the Don Quixote section of that story, where Don Quixote is giving Dante an earful for pulling all the blood-themed IDs because of all the associated trauma. and then Fang Hun Kong Blue shows up to be all like, hey, do you want me to take care of this blood fiend? And the sight of it baffles Don Quixote so much because it's like, yeah, this is the Fang Hunt person that appeared for 5 seconds before they got sacked. Why would Mephistopheles want this ID? That should be all of them. Well, I needed to do a few more passages in Central Command, but most of them. If you wanted an indication of just how angry Don Quixote got at the Blood Fiend IDs, he'd actually been like 5 seconds away from taking off Rocinante before the sight of Fang Hun Tong Blue stopped in their tracks. Oh boy, maybe it's for the best that I'm ending soon anyways. It's getting really late. It should hopefully be enough of a cleanup. Get back to your usual station. Anything else Limbus Company related you wanted to bring up? Because I'm officially out of ideas. I may need a cough drop. The funny thing is, the wing IDs are more likely to give Kim Ji-woo traumatic flashbacks than anyone in the game itself. Speaking of ID shenanigans, there was also, relatively recently, there was also a story about the weirdness of Ryoshi getting 4 IDs related to Hong Blue in some fashion, which is indeed quite the weird coincidence. Alright, we got a meltdown trick again. And then after that, we gotta take care of 2 meltdowns. Okay, where are those meltdowns? Snow Queen and You Must Be Happy. Okay, that's not a big deal. And then the dusk is finally here. You know what? I'll just let that one run out. What does it even matter at this point? I don't want to mess with my agent's health this far in. good news is that we no longer have to do the meltdown trick, at least for this specific cycle. And with that, there's officially no more clerks anywhere. There was exactly 3 left. So, depending on how the year shakes out, Ruina might not be seen until the latter half of it. Because like I said, I want to finish RZ, and then I want to do one other new project, bare minimum. But the thing that's interesting about Ruina is that I hear about all these offices and stuff, and it does make me want to see them. Ruina is basically like the ultimate world building game. I'm actually almost there in getting everything. Okay, 4 works, because it's more about pushing the meltdown bar than actually doing anything interesting with it. The hazard with long streams. Might just have Is the pale fixer something that can be soloed? Yeah, no, might just have Gabriella hunt it down wherever, and finally have a use for the pale bullets. Elaborate on what that means. Ah. Not even is rotation anymore. For the first time in a while, Georgia can actually do something with Do I have an agent like that on hand right now, actually? Yeah, Jose. Jose's part of the Black Damage crew, but I can borrow him for this. It's important. Okay, Jose, you're down here. Gabriella, you join the rest of that group to replace Jose. Jose, who I believe is the very first nugget, the one that's been here longer than anyone. It always starts to get tense around this time. Because the only thing left is to do what is pushing until the big disaster. Here's an idea. If the midnight immediately follows, do we push through? Because there is that chance. Now, what did I just say? There it is. And meanwhile, the white fixer spawns right on top of Mary. I love that for me. Where's the white crew? Here's the white crew. Records has red. I am kind of okay with that. The people here won't damage him, but they won't die to him either. Oh, that's where Pale is. Okay, need to send Jose down there ASAP. And over here is where Black is. Black ended up here two in a row. That is insane. Okay. But Sion, get out of here. You're not part of this crew. Okay, so the red fixer can probably be intercepted pretty fast by this crew over here. The real problem is going to be the pale fixer. Because if someone doesn't intercept him fast, then he's going to go somewhere else. Could Jose reach there fast enough is the thing. There's going to be a lot of micromanaging in the next few seconds. The white fixer is more or less harmless on her own, is the good news. Yeah, still got to keep an eye on her all the same. What worries me right now is that I currently don't know where my black crew is. Because this is my red crew over here. Which, by the way, I should probably... Wow, you basically blend into that background. Jose, where are you? But also Galena, attack, and then put a big pale bullet on you just to be safe. Where the heck are my black fixer killers? Because this is the pale crew here, or at least what was originally going to be them. Over here's the white crew. Where the heck did I move them? The... Up, there they are. Okay, let's run it and see what happens. Okay. Red Fixer seems like he's good and well and dealt with. Galena's shooting bullets. It's just a matter of if the bullet gets there in time. Unfortunately, I can't control that. Okay, what's white doing? White's fine. The first bullet's about to hit Pale Fixer. That's Mary. Oh, they just saw white. What do I do with you then? Okay, I don't think Mary's moving anymore. Come on, bullet, reach. I'm gonna need you to reach. What about over here? Oh, people are hurt. Not a big surprise. There's a little laser. Okay, they hit. Although Pale doesn't seem to care. Okay, Red Fixer's about to die, so I might just move them behind ASAP. Uh-oh, I think... Just in case. I also see that. Pale disappeared. Galena's bullets didn't distract enough. Oh, hey! You ended up right in the middle of the crew I put together to kill you anyways. Okay, Galena, back to your room. Jose, keep chasing. Well, the idea is that the pale, weak, and fatal people would just attack from a distance. But yeah, it wasn't my best plan. The question is, what do we do now? Misona, I think. Although I don't know where she is at the moment. Yeah, her. And right now she has Da Capo on. She's actually perfect for this. Pale. Fixer. Okay, all of you guys move away. And then maybe also some pale shields, just to be safe. Gonna use up all my bullets at this rate. But that's what they're there for. Okay, at this exact moment, where the hell's Misona? Can I click on Gabriella here? I can. So I can at least issue that kill order. I forget how touchy this is. He doesn't seem to be. Why the... Are you hidden behind... I think we've just had a glitch of some kind. I see Misona there, but I can't interface with her in any other way. I'll throw on an HP bullet just in case, but... And a pale one while we're at it, but this is weird. I think they sort of glitched. I'm gonna keep covering you with pale bullets until it dies. Oh, hi, White. No, she's right there. Like, literally right there. Gabriella will probably ignore because she has specific kill orders. Bullets left. Just gotta make sure to get this gun before I run out here. Sona, you okay there? I think she's still under the effects of the glitch. Okay, White Fixer is coming. The good news is that I think she'll run right into her kill squad. No, Gabriella, this battle is not for you. Okay, go. For the time being, we need to start chipping away at Pale. Or White. And keep a very, very close eye on her. But say, what are you doing here with... Okay, you're not part of this battle. I think it's because the Pale Fixer spawned right on top of her. It caused some kind of weird effect. What are you doing? Okay, you're doing the laser, so everyone kind of move behind her. Or you can just sit there. I'm gonna need you to obey my move order. Let's see, what do you have? You have lamp. And you have moonlight armor, so you should be able to resist anything. Tiffany may be better off sitting out this battle. Their armor just isn't up to it. They always seem to suffer the most damage. Or okay, you just immediately pop right back out here. Tiffany, do not go crazy. Maybe you can move over here for now. Everyone else keep at it. What are you doing? You're doing the beam again. Okay, you guys should be able to stand it, so hold the fire for right now. Up, counter. Okay, if she were to die, you would be in the range. All the black damage people and all the records, basically. It did hit Tiffany, but she's fine. We'll see what direction she points before I decide what to do next. Lesihan. And no one else, as far as I know. It actually depends on what direction White Fixture is going. Or you just want to do both to be safe. Fair enough. Okay, everyone in this area is already bunched up in an elevator, so it's gonna be hell to untangle them after, but it is what it is. Okay, still moving left. I'm just gonna let everyone recover from the health they lost. It would be nice if White Fixer died in this next encounter. For multiple reasons. Okay, watch very carefully what she does. That's the round. The big key. Luckily, I don't think that anyone's in reach. Except maybe him. Uh-oh. Run. Or farthest elevator, just to be safe. Who else is here? Gabriella can handle that. Jeez, that's far. I might do a white forward, or it'll swing left. Well, he does. Freaking counter stations. Welfare. No, don't kill yourselves. Move. Okay, same thing. Or you know what? Send Pansy alone to finish this. She has the health for it. Or Basil and Fish. Or Pansy and Basil. Finish this before she gets too close. That's done. It's 11 o'clock at night, but at the same time, the midnight is right there. Okay, I think I'm gonna bring everyone back to their original departments. No more groups. The last of it is gonna be just one giant facility-wide death ball. So question, what's the what's the serum where you don't attack? Because I know for 2 of the serums you rush in to keep them from attacking. But I forget which is the one that's the exception. Okay, so orange is the bad color. The glitch on Misona is still there. She's only a face now. What? The fuck did the pale picture do to her? It's like she got hit by Ryoku's sword or something. I'm gonna see if a work with Big Bird's gonna be enough to straighten her out. I'm definitely gonna take a screenshot of this later and see, just because it's out of context. Oh my god. Even in the containment unit, it's just... oh dear. That's Lobotomy. Oh, before I forget, we're gonna have to do the meltdown trick again because we're gonna need it for Queenie. Or you know what? It doesn't matter because once we kill the Midnight, it's done. And you can just let her be mad. This was only supposed to be a practice run to know the mechanics, and all of a sudden this could be just the run. Okay, so to reiterate what I was saying before. The point of the claw is to have literally everyone in the facility deathball it ASAP whenever the chance presents itself. Then what I might do is that right before I kick off the Midnight. Okay, yeah, that was the next thing I was going to ask about. Okay, it's probably gonna require a lot of pausing, but I'm used to that by now. Maybe I'll use that next time, if there is a next time, more than this city. Oh, that reminds me, can I get the last camera from here? I can. I am very proud of how far this facility has come. I kind of feel like, yeah. Well, now I know, which to be fair is kind of the reason why I asked the question. Okay, 2 more, so I'm gonna take the second and last bathroom break of the evening. Real quick. Okay, my plan. Everyone, and I mean everyone, is gonna group together in Central Command. Or I'm gonna do it like apartments at least. Central Command is the most, well, central, so that's probably the best place to keep an eye on everything. Congratulations, Kalina. You're not going to be alone anymore. As soon as everyone forms up, I'm going to do 2 works on match girl. And then it's go time. Anyone left. Anyone at all. Doesn't seem like it. Where did you appear? You appeared up here. Alright, cool. So, what's the first plan of attack? Or what's the plan? Okay. It's gonna be Jose just because of his recovery. Everyone else? Okay, everyone else go here, and then Jose go face tank. There, that should be better. Where's he going? Uh-oh. I think he's gonna run right into the facility right away. Okay, do that, but Jose still thinks me. Well, good. Run away! Run away! Okay, I need to see what color injection you're using. Oh my god, I think he is using orange first. At least. Yep. Jose, run. Oh, look at him meowing. Okay, now what are you gonna do? Now you're focusing on safety/information. Bottom left. Well, the good news is that Jose being away from the group means that Jose being no longer being part of the group means that I won't have to manually do the order every time. He went up. Where's he? Where the hell does he go? I'll throw in a slow bullet right now. Jose will keep chase. And then we'll decide what to do from there. Yep, which one is he? He's using orange again? You ass! Which means he's gonna stop over here. Jose, where are you? So I can abort that kill order. Abort order. Stay here for now. Where are you going this time? Okay, the good news is that Jose's gonna intercept you. Up. Down. Nope, he's using orange again. Abort kill order for now. Okay, he's facing that way, so he's gonna stop at disciplinary. Stay here. No, what's that? Oh, he instantly stopped. I guess because the door's all fucked. Okay, Jose, resume the chase. we've done like the smallest sliver of damage to him right now. Yep. Okay. Should I keep the death ball up here or move them one down? While Jose is keeping them distracted. Yep. Had a feeling, just like confirmation of things. Blue. Attack. Should I back everyone off before they hit 25? Because we're getting a lot of health down. Oh my god, I actually did it. Holy shit, I just killed a claw. How did everyone do? Everyone did great. Okay, what have we got? Lady facing the wall, all-around helper, and red shoes. We extract or take one that we don't have, just because. All-around helper. Or red shoes, maybe? A second weapon of this would be nice, so I'll take it. No. Dream of a Black Swan. And... Ooh, Child of the Galaxy. I think we're fine with this screen. So we could get some Vovs. Or, yeah, Child of the Galaxy. Is this also a Vov or just a he? Well, I suppose it doesn't matter. So you have decided to move... I don't do a voice. This is just my voice. So you have decided to move forward, I see. Your body and mind are still incomplete, and yet you limp forward. I must wonder where that confidence of yours comes from. Anyway, you must have some questions, no? One such question may be, who is this old man, he with such a familiar voice and face? You cannot face yourself. Think of me as a mirror of you. A shattered mirror, to be precise, scattered to several shards. This old man is one of the pieces of that mirror. The name is Abel. Filled with rage and obstinacy, waiting to be miserably forgotten, as you can see. I, just like you, decided to proceed, but nothing changed to my surprise. I had trouble sleeping, and the rare nights in which I could sleep were riddled with nightmares. We were the first humans, or human, to find a way to access the well of humanity. It has existed since the beginning of time, but now it lies forgotten and denied. Today, there are only a few who can feel it. Just a handful of people, only faintly sensing its presence. But Carmen was completely sure of its existence, and tried to persuade us of it. If its existence were proven, that would mean we would be able to reach the well. She believed that the cure of the world's disease was related to this well. The research we conducted, taken from where Carmen had left us, was successful. We found a method to siphon from the primordial sea which had every possibility of humanity, past, present, and future. If everyone had a bucket of their own, they would be able to draw their own water from their individual well. It's a fascinating. We even had arrogant thoughts and secrets. We thought we could rekindle the long-forgotten flame and the water of life. However, the path we walked was not different from that of Prometheus. What have we accomplished after all this? We lost much more than we gained, did we not? We haven't witnessed it. The way our old friend Benjamin met his demise. He was one of the few who could tolerate your ill-temperedness. Yet you did not care to witness his final moments. Fortunately, we have a recording of it, as with every little thing that has happened in this facility. Would you like to give it a listen? The third and final truth. Well, it is something you must learn. I understand that the truth hurts. It's hard for me as well. It feels like building up a sandcastle for years, only to kick it over once it's done. Doing something like that is beyond agony, to deny the efforts of the past. But I want to make things right, no matter the cost. The final truth is that you are about to begin the repetition of this infinite cycle, with your memories upset, oblivious to everything that has transpired. Leave with me before you can no longer undo what you've set in motion. That's what you wanted to say. I'm sorry that we have to meet again like this. It did not take very long to find out where you were hiding. I thought I should have given you some time to say goodbye, since this will be the last chance you have to say such a thing to the one you look up to. Angela. I feel as though I became the tragic damsel in distress of a play whenever you speak my name. It may sound like an excuse, but please know this. I am not doing this out of personal feelings or malice. My every action is set by his first order, the absolute order that dictates us not to deviate from the script. Are you really okay with going through with this? I know you well, and not just because I'm one of the people who created you. I know you're different from the other machines. There is another fact I knew from the start. That you're too valuable to be hiding in such a shabby corner like this. Our conversation is being recorded, and furthermore, I have no obligation whatsoever to answer your questions. Don't be afraid, Benjamin. Everyone you've missed and longed to see again is waiting for you. You shall be with them forever. Because you are the last actor, the one that will lead this play to its finality. Bitter, no? Benjamin hid here quite a long time ago. When the TT2 protocol activated, a brief moment became an eternity and overwhelmed him. I assume he tried to run away with me, with us. However, as you already know, he failed. Perhaps you feel no guilt for him, for you gave him another life. Think whatever you wish. Find solace in your mind, or else you will not endure this place. The brain is one of the vital organs of the human body. Tens of billions of neurons stretch like the branches of trees and form a great forest. This forest, as long as the original exists, can be replanted. Those who perished were awoken in metal bodies. It was your plan, yet you couldn't do it alone. However, I have already seen the world ahead of you, the time you have yet to see. Nothing changes. Benjamin, your friends, the employees, their sacrifices were pointless. You've seen how they met their end. You realize how innocent, talented souls of young persons were trapped into machines by your hands, haven't you? We have failed them. The world has forgotten us. Who will pay for their sacrifices? Do you know what we've forgotten? I wasn't perfect, manager. I was always biting off more than I could chew. I wasn't being realistic. Send it to Tumblr. At the same time, this is such a sad place. So I refused to think that I couldn't do something. But you saw me. You saw how this obsession and pressure to blindly move forward eventually ate me away. In the end, what was important was for me to stand with my own two legs. To be aware of where I am and where I should go next. Then it naturally rises up. The will inside me. The will to stand up straight. Even if you stand upright, around you is nothing but despair. You may act noble, but you are sailing through the Dead Sea inside you. Emotional thoughts only depressed us. They didn't help us in the slightest. We need to become more rational, more cold-hearted. The rationality built upon falsehood crumbled me, you, and all of us. God, what was the Assad voice? We have walked too far to tell such melancholic stories. We thought relying on emotion wouldn't help a thing. However, it became clear that to accept sadness was just as important. The false rationality we held and clung to only made our hearts rot. It is hard to accept at first. It'll feel like you'd crumble in. But it'll get better, I'm sure of it. The rationality to maintain discretion. It is too late to settle down our hearts, I'm afraid. Your mind is already empty and has lost any purpose to move forward. I can hear the murmurs of those I've lost in my ears whenever I shut my eyes. They batter me with the question, do you really think you will become a better man? I couldn't say anything to refute what they were saying. Do you think you'll be any different? You see, manager, you shouldn't look towards the past at times like this. I know my wrongdoings can't be forgiven, no matter what I do. I guess that's why I was so ahead of myself. But from now on, I won't be. I can. No, I will become a better person if I continue. Let's live with such an open mind, shall we? The hope to be a better person. But what good does this all do to you? How many times must I say this? You have nothing left. No matter how much you try to control your emotions and calm your mind, you've already been losing your reason to live ever since Carmen left us. Why are you so obsessed with a life that has no more meaning? Look at me. Look at how I'm continuing this pointless life, awaiting death. Oh God. If you ask me for a reason to keep on living this life full of pain, I have to say, I don't have a good answer yet. You woke me up. But I guess it's my job to take care of whatever comes to me next. I chose to be a bit more fearless. It took me a lot of courage to do so. To continue onward with my life in spite of everything. Just live your life for once, man. Hell, even I made it this far. What makes you think you can't? The fearlessness to keep on living. We've been deliberating for a long time. None of the paths we had thought to be the right answer were correct. How can I not let you pass when you answer our doubts with such confidence and clarity? Ah, you, nameless one. To be nameless is a great blessing. A name is a stigma, a constant reminder of the one that walks the wrong path. The door you will face after leaving this office can be named a trial. It may also be referred to as an ordeal or an agony. You appear to possess the strength and will to overcome such adversity, however. That strength to choose a different path, a different future, a different answer. I shall witness your strength. I hope you can finally prove yourself to this doubtful old man. Oh God, let me out. I need to sleep. Can't you hear my voice anymore? Please, answer me. Hello? That was weird. Come on, load up. So, we beat up a claw. Okay, I only needed one more armor for this guy. Not as impressive as I thought it was gonna be. I already have all the hammers. I have everything here. Yeah, we're fine. We got new VoV level weapons at least. And try and think of something to do with them. I'm gonna click begin core suppression just to save this state. You're okay, Misona. You have the rest of your body back. Okay. Yep, Misona's back. What a weird glitch that was. Everyone's back. That's just something we're gonna have to deal with next time. Oh my god, I went into this stream thinking it would be a short 1 hour a 1 hour stream to try and work out the white ordeals, and then it turned into a 4 hour bonanza of beating the claw. But that's one trial down, 3 more to go. The end of the game approaches. I think we might be able to do this. See you all next week.